WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. Conditions and violence in Mississippi's prisons are attracting national attention, and the search for a new corrections leader won't be limited by state lines. Today was Tate Reeves' first press conference as governor, and as Courtney Ann Jackson explains, he laid out a plan to choose who will lead the agency.
Prison problems are dictating the way Tate Reeves begins his first days as governor.
I know that a lot of people want to play the blame game and point fingers here or point fingers there. None of that really matters. We are where we are today, and our job as leaders, and I've been in this position for a little less than 48 hours, our job as leaders is to develop a plan and a path forward.
That path started with a request.
I instructed the Department of Public Safety to assign an officer from the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations to root out the underlying issues, not only at the state penitentiary at Parchment, but throughout the department as a whole.
Reeves doesn't want to rush the appointment of the next commissioner. He's instead appointing former state representative and mayor of Boyle, Tommy Taylor, as interim.
From his time as a chief deputy sheriff to a prison warden, Mayor Taylor has spent the bulk of his career in law enforcement, gaining a lifetime of wisdom that will be essential during this challenging time.
And he's launching a nationwide search that will be led by former lawmaker and mayor of Vicksburg, George Flaggs. Flaggs will be joined by current and former sheriffs, district attorneys, a judge, and a former member of the parole board. The Transparency Mississippi site lists the maximum salary for MDOC commissioner as just under $134,000. We ask Reeves if that may be reconsidered as part of the search.
I don't think that anyone who ultimately accepts the role of Commissioner of the Department of Corrections is going to be doing it for the money. But at the same time, we do have to offer a compensation package that is reasonable and rational and will definitely attract that top talent.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Now, there's no timeline for selecting a permanent MDOC commissioner, but the search group will get to work immediately. It looks like Mississippi's U.S. history test has a future. The Mississippi State Board of Education voted unanimously today to keep the U.S. history end-of-course assessment. After conducting an opinion poll among teachers, the Commission on School Accreditation and the Mississippi Student Testing Task Force had requested that the board eliminate the test. Board members were concerned that the removal of the test might lessen the importance of history in schools. The U.S. history test is one of 4 required end-of-course tests for high schoolers. The other 3 are Algebra 1, Biology, and English 2. They're all required by federal law. Ole Miss's Confederate Monument isn't going anywhere for the time being. Today, the Institute for Higher Learning delayed voting on the request to move Confederate statues on the university's campus. IHL says it wants a full report first. If approved, the monument would move from a central spot on the campus to a Confederate cemetery. In December, the State Department of Archives and History voted to move the statue. The FBI arrested 3 members of a neo-Nazi group today. Prosecutors say they were armed with a homemade assault weapon and were planning to attend a pro-gun rally in Richmond on Martin Luther King Day. That's raising concerns about the potential for violence. CBS's Jeff Pegues has the latest from Richmond.
Among the men arrested is Patrick Matthews, a Canadian Army veteran said to be an explosives expert. The 3 men face weapons charges for building a functioning assault rifle and are alleged to be members of a white supremacist group known as the Base, which calls for violence against minorities with slogans like "Save Your Race." Sources tell CBS News the men had discussed heading to Richmond for Monday's gun rights rally. They had recently purchased 1,500 rounds of ammunition.
The threat in this kind of situation is with 1,500 rounds in semi-automatic rifles, hundreds of people could go down in seconds.
With fears of the Charlottesville chaos in 2017, police in Virginia have been bracing for violence on Monday. Governor Ralph Northam declared a state of emergency, banning all weapons near the Capitol, and warned of threats from out-of-state militia groups.
Threats like storming our Capitol is one specifically. Weaponizing drones over our Capitol Square is another.
Rally organizer Philip Van Cleve said the event should not be canceled because of the 3 men arrested.
They're the problem makers. If they're trying to create problems, the police will handle them. We will go on.
One of the 2 Americans arrested is an Army veteran who served in Iraq. Investigators also tell us that when the FBI moved in to take the men into custody, 2 of them tried to destroy their phones. Jeff Begays, CBS News, Richmond, Virginia.
Mostly cloudy out there right now. We have a quiet night in the Columbus area, 51 degrees, 50 in Starkville, Oxford at 45. There are some showers out there. Winona, Tupelo also in the upper 40s. We still have winds from the northeast at about 10 to 15 in some spots. So a bit breezy out there. You can see the 40s and 50s, and we've been slow to fall here this evening because of the cloud cover. And if you look closely up here, a little bit bigger batch of showers up near Oxford, but in general, most of that is staying in the cloud cover. For tomorrow, your Friday, mid to upper 50s here, likely 60s in the south, extensive cloud cover, maybe an isolated shower, a better rain chance as we get into your Saturday. We'll talk about the weekend forecast coming up.
The situation at the Tibaha County Lake could have a major impact miles away in Clay County. Our Quentin Smith speaks with county leaders to find out more about their action plan. He joins us live in the studio with more.
Yes, Scott. Earlier today, Clay County deputies went into the neighborhoods that would be affected, handing out flyers and letting residents know what they should do if the dam breaches. EMA Director TORREY Williams says the western part of Clay County, in particular the Cedar Bluff and Moon Valley areas, will be impacted the most. Now, if the dam does breach, a code red alert will be sent out, letting residents know they need to evacuate. There are multiple storm shelters set up all throughout town. Williams says there are roughly 50 to 80 homes in the area that could be impacted from the flood. At this time, no one knows what's going to happen with the dam, if anything. However, Williams says it's still a good idea to be proactive just in case.
Have plans. I know we push that all the time. Have an evacuation plan. If you plan on staying, make sure you contact somebody that is a family member or a friend that is not in that area and let them know that you're staying. So whenever, if the area that you're in is affected, then somebody will know that you were down in that affected area. Lord forbid if something actually happens to your residents. So we'll know that, hey, we do need to start looking for somebody or someone.
Now, in the event that the dam breaches, Williams says they will close Highway 50 and possibly Highway 45 alternate. If residents have to evacuate, those with pets can drop them off at the West Point Clay County Animal Shelter. For anyone in the affected areas who doesn't have the code red alert and would like to sign up, just visit our website at WCBI.com. Scott?
All right, Quentin, thanks so much. Tibaha County supervisors got an update from engineers on the status of the dam and have begun forming a plan. WCBI's Bobby Martinez was at the lake and at that meeting.
Engineers believe they have a solution.
With the assistance of the Corps engineers, we are requesting that they come in with a series of pumps, and that will help us evacuate the lake, lower the lake level. If we're successful in doing that, depending on rainfall, then we're going to go in the intake structure that is within the lake, and we're going to demolish that down to a level that essentially will dry the lake up, and we won't let the lake come up to a level again that could threaten a dam.
The board voted unanimously in favor of bringing in additional pumps. Once those pumps arrive, County Lake Road would then be closed.
Once the pumping of the water is complete, we will then go down and assess the dam itself, along with cutting the outlet off. And once that's been done, we'll make a determination then whether to reopen the County Lake Dam.
Engineers want everyone to stay away from the area at all times.
Everybody is curious, but we really don't need sightseers. We've got emergency management people, we've got MEMA out there, we've got my people out there, and you know, you can't really turn around on the dam, and these people are focused on looking for the things that they need to be looking at, and we just really don't need the general public out there sightseeing.
Well, right now they're waiting on the Corps to let them know how many pumps are available and how many pumps it'll take to help lower that water past the danger level. And eventually these supervisors say that they'll have to address possibly draining the lake, rebuilding the levee, and the money to pay for that project. At least one person was taken to the hospital after a car crash in North Columbus. It happened this evening around 5 o'clock on Highway 45 North, just past Bishop's RV. Lowndes County District 2 volunteer firefighters responded to that scene. The Mississippi Highway Patrol is still investigating that crash. All right, we're going to send things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson to get another look at our forecast. Hey there, Keith.
Hey, Scott, and let's talk about our planner for tomorrow. Here's Annabelle and Dusty cuddling for warmth. Probably not needed tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, maybe an isolated shower. We're in the 50s. However, we will all need a cuddle here as we get into next week. Look at these forecast lows Tuesday morning as you get ready for work and school. The actual temperature could be in the upper teens and low 20s. Colder wind chills, too. We'll have the full forecast next.
For WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
It's been a wet year so far in the area, and we're only 16 days into this this month. 9.27 inches of rain in Starkville so far, the 10th wettest January on record. We're not going to hit the all-time record, I don't think, in many spots here, about 15 inches. But river flooding has been a problem. Looks like that's going to be over by Monday and Tuesday. And I think we have at least 4 dry days coming our way starting Sunday. And with that, we'll usher in some better conditions around here as far as all of that wetness is concerned. Now, your Friday, your Saturday, mostly cloudy here. We'll have a few more showers and some thunder showers around Saturday. Sunday, we will be sunny, much colder though, that's the big story, into the 40s. Now, here's where it's really cold right now. In the northern plains, North and South Dakota, Minnesota, wind chill values about 20 to 25 to 30 degrees below zero right now. Wind chill advisories, wind chill alerts up there across the northern plains. We also have wintry weather breaking out across the high plains in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. That's the cold side of the system. You can really see it coming together back to our west. We are on the warmer side. We will not see any wintry weather. Extensive cloud cover here in the near term. Here comes our next front, though, as we get into your Saturday. In the morning hours, we'll have some showers around, maybe even a few thunder showers, too, as that front moves on through. The colder air will win out. And then that will start the drying process here as we get into Saturday night and Sunday. But we don't think there's going to be any severe weather with the setup on Saturday, unlike the Saturday we just had. Remember that? The wind energy will be pulling away just as the unstable air starts to migrate north along that frontal boundary. So they will not team up, it looks like. The ingredients are out of sync, and that is great news for us here in the world of weather and for all of you at home, too. We don't really have to worry about any severe weather this weekend. Here's our Alpha Insurance Camera Network in Columbus, Tupelo, Vernon, at Durham's Pharmacy, Louisville, Mississippi. Our time lapses from this afternoon showing all of this cloud cover, and we still have a few showers out there, but most of that not really reaching the ground. Let's go hour by hour here tonight. Low 40s, maybe some upper 30s, mostly cloudy tomorrow. Temperatures in the 50s. We may see a few showers out there, but tomorrow night into our Saturday, we are looking at 50s, shower chances really going on up by Saturday morning. It will be breezy, too. The wind starts to pick up tomorrow, continues into our Saturday. Right along that frontal boundary will be the chance for some rain. I think we top out in the 60s with the front, and then much colder air starts to build on in behind it. And that will take us down into the 40s for Sunday, low 40s Monday and Tuesday. Scott, look at those overnight lows down into the 20s and teens. We have not seen temperatures like that for a long time. But it is still January, so it should be cool.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's been a while. I don't know what it feels like, but I know I'm going to have to crank up that heat.
You will certainly need to do that.
Definitely. Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, Keith. Well, LSU maybe tops on the football fields, but how about the basketball court? We check out women's action from the hump a little bit later in sports.
WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. There's no cure for glaucoma, but there are ways that it can be treated. We learn more on treatment options tonight in our Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dan Bennett, an ophthalmologist on staff here at Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle. And tonight I'm going to talk to you about symptoms and treatment options for glaucoma. The optic nerve is made up of many nerve fibers that carry images to the brain. It's kind of like an electric cable containing numerous wires. When glaucoma damages the optic nerve, blind spots can develop. You typically won't notice these at first in your day-to-day activities until the optic nerve is significantly damaged and these spots become larger. If the entire nerve is destroyed, blindness results. Glaucoma is usually controlled with eye drops. Used every day, eye drops lower the eye pressure by reducing the amount of fluid produced in the eye or by helping fluid drain better inside the eye. When eye drops don't sufficiently control the intraocular pressure, pills may sometimes be prescribed in addition to the drops. When medications do not achieve the desired result or have intolerable side effects, your ophthalmologist may suggest surgery. There are office-based laser treatments to lower the eye pressure, and in some cases, major surgery may be required in the operating room. These treatments are all designed to lower the eye pressure. Just know that treating glaucoma successfully is a team effort between you and your doctor. Your ophthalmologist will prescribe your glaucoma treatment. It is up to you to follow your doctor's instructions to prevent permanent vision loss. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Big changes happening at Oak Hill Academy. The Raiders welcomed a new head coach this afternoon. More on that when we
For WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Let's go back in time for a moment. It's January 15th, 2015, a Thursday night. Mississippi State's hosting LSU. After rallying for a comeback, the Bulldogs fell, unfortunately, by just one possession, 71-69 against the Tigers. Since then, in the last 4 seasons, MSU has not lost to LSU, including tonight. This time, the Bulldogs not having to pull off the comeback for the win. Rather, State took the lead with 3 minutes to go in the first and never gave it up. Let's get to Starkville. MSU back home for the first time in 2 weeks, taking on the Tigers. Good defense from the Bulldogs early. Jessica Carter with the steal, going coast to coast to the cup. MSU with the early lead. And the Tigers hanging around. Guard Kayla Pointer finds guard Jalen Cherry at the baseline, pulls up for the mid-range J, right into the nylon. It's a 2-point ball game. Under 30 seconds in the first, guard Jemiah Mingo-Young picks up her dribble, in trouble, finds forward Jessica Carter underneath, finishes at the rim. The Bulldogs lead by 4 after 1. And John Cohen liking that action. Second quarter, all Mississippi State. Bulldogs get a spark off the bench from guard Aliyah Matharu. The sweet move for the lay-in. Matharu going on a 6-0 run by herself, getting to the basket at will, and just doing whatever she wants. The bully ball, bringing it right to the bucket. Mississippi State stretches it to a 9-point lead. And the icing on the cake, forward Rakia Jackson, the sweet backdoor dime to guard Andra Espinoza-Hunter for 2. The Bulldogs hold LSU without a bucket for the final 4.5 minutes. Vic Schaefer leading 12 points, but LSU with the floater in the second half to make it a 6-point game. The Bulldogs automatically answer. Guard Jordan Danbury with the offensive rebound and the and one bucket. MSU at 57-49. LSU, the loose ball, Carter to Rakia Jackson for 2, and the finish. It's a 9-point lead, 59-50 for Mississippi State, and 45 seconds to go. LSU center Austin Afua with the layup makes it a 3-point ball game. It's 63-60 Mississippi State. The Bulldogs coming up with a huge defensive stop, the block, and the Bulldogs get the ball back. MSU hanging on to get the 64-60 win against LSU, staying absolutely perfect in SEC play. Here's head coach Vic Schaefer on his freshmen after the game.
Develop those freshmen. She's not scared. I don't think any of our freshmen are scared to play or scared to be in moments, in big moments in games. So I think Aaliyah came in, did a good job of attacking, did a good job of doing what Coach Schaefer asked her to do. And I think she played pretty hard, so it's great to have that coming in off the bench. It keeps the game flowing.
Got to have depth, especially the way we play, you know, up and down and pressing. And like she said, you know, our freshmen, they are not scared. And they're very confident, sometimes too much confident. But, hey, I'd rather have them that way than the other. So, you know, we'll have a good day tomorrow, and we'll get ready for South Carolina on Monday night.
Excellence being recognized in hoops over in Starkville, but on the high school level, Yellow Jacket head basketball coach Greg Carter was named as a boys basketball coach of the year finalist by the National High School Athletics Coaches Association. During his time as a head coach of Starkville, Carter has led the Yellow Jackets to not 1, not 2, but 3 state titles. Carter is one of 8 named as a finalist for the award. The winner will be announced on July 23rd of 2020. Oak Hill Academy making some changes in the high school football offseason. The Raiders introducing Bill Rosenthal as the newest head coach. Rosenthal has served as the Raiders defensive coordinator and replaces former 5-year head coach Chris Craven. Oak Hill announced Craven would not return as head coach back in December of 2019. Oak Hill finishing that 2019 season with a 2-8 overall record. Headmaster Dr. Kathy Davis said in a statement that his knowledge of the game, along with his experience and his relationships with players, were among many reasons as to why Rosenthal fit the job.
Going to be an interesting football season. New high school football coaches, new university coaches.
Oh my gosh.
Wild.
Part of me is like, we need to slow down because we're in the middle of basketball season. But part of me really wants it to go ahead and speed up because I'm so excited.
I couldn't think. I mean, we're all excited. All right. We'll see after this. We'll be back.
More clouds tomorrow. We're in the 50s, some 60s Saturday. A front moves through, and that will end this wet weather pattern. Also, the cold weather pattern returns. Look at that. Hey,
she's got her parka coat over there because it's cold in here.
Chicago. You know what it's like.
Yeah, I've lived with it for too long. I'm done with it. I moved here to get away from it.
Well, it's coming on back.
But hey, the sunshine. At least it'll be sunny next week.
That's true. I'm sick of the rain. We're done with that.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.